Well, let me ask you a question, Ocho. When they tell you I'm the prize,
talk to
well,
me.
who the collector? Who won the prize?
Come on,
keep telling me you the prize, but guess what? Right there,
right.
I see you still sitting on the shelf.
We bouncing. All right, here we go.
What up, though? Welcome to High Value Hustle. And tonight we're gonna react to a video off a nightcap where Uncle Shay Shay was talking about as far as women knowing their worth. And we're just gonna roll into the video and give our thoughts after.
I know my worth. What is your worth? What is somebody willing to pay you for that? You hear that all the time. I know my value. Who determined it? Okay, you gonna pay yourself?
Yeah.
So while you doing all this, I know my worth, I know my value.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't pay you that, you're not that valuable. You're not worth it.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad. I like that you just said that, because that's another one. Now I'm off topic.
I know you're going with this too.
Women love that. Women love that. I know my value. What is that value in general? That's a great topic.
I'm the prize. I'm the prize. Well, let me ask you a question, Ocho. When they tell you I'm the prize,
talk to me.
Well, who the collector? Who won the prize?
Come on,
keep telling me you the prize, but guess what? Right there,
right.
I see you still sitting on the shelf. Ain't nobody purchased it yet. Why you bumping your gums?
Come on,
huh? I mean, in order for it to be a prize, somebody has to be willing to win it, right? Somebody, the lottery,
right.
The big game, Mega Million, Fantasy 5, Cash 4.
You're talking that. Come on, Pastor. Yes,
I mean, normally I'm playing like, okay, you the prize. Okay, so is anybody ever gonna win it? Or does anybody try to win it? Or does anybody want it? Because there are a lot of times there are prizes that I don't even want that.
Come on.
See, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I just thought.
I know you was going.
See,
once I started.
Yeah. I see it all the time, and I just like the wording. And then when you said, well, somebody has to be willing to pay what that value is, because you can't determine what the value is.
The market will always determine the price. You cannot make your own price. The market always determine the price. It's just like selling a home. You can say your home is unique. It has this in real estate. You got to get comparables. You got to get comparisons. At the end of the day, if the house down the street and they got similar rooms or whatever, your house is unique and it's sold for $400,000, and you put your house on the market for $600,000, who gonna buy it?
Right.
Who gonna buy it? You have a small percentage of people that's gonna buy it. So at the end of the day, you have to lower your price because you're overpricing the market. The market will always determine the value. You don't determine your own value. And that's for men and women. You can't say I'm this, I'm that, but at the end of the day, is the market trying to purchase it? Is the market trying to, get you off the shelf? But if that's not happening and you're not getting qualified people to coming at you, man, hey, that value needs to come down, ladies. It needs to come down. Like say, hey, why you still on the shelf then? why you still on the shelf? Come on now.
Yeah,
go ahead, go.
I'm wild for that, man. It's interesting because the more and more I scroll the internet and listen and watch these conversations on who the prize is, and we also did a particular episode on who's the prize and whatever it is. The more I start to realize, man, that it's a moot conversation. Like, it doesn't even matter. It makes no sense to even have this conversation. At least in my opinion, because I feel like now, like, determining who is the prize in a relationship has become such a divisive term. The word prize has become so divisive, bro. Like, who cares? I don't even care anymore. Like, again, the only person that can determine the value is the person that wants whoever the other person is, or the market. You know what I'm saying? That those are the only two. That's it. So I can't sit here and say, "Oh man, I'm the prize." I'm the prize, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I could say that or whatever. Maybe to say it to stroke my own ego, my personal ego or whatever, but I don't determine if I'm truly the prize. It would be the other woman on the receiving end of who I am as a person, what I can do as a person. You know, that person would be the one that determines the value because the things that I can do or the the person that I am may be more valuable to that particular person versus another person. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. But I definitely understand the conversation, the back and forth, and are women the prize and are men the prize. I'm just kind of over it now. It really don't matter, to be honest, because only the
Well,
person that is pursuing you is going to have a set criteria on what they perceive your value is, and it may not align with what you think your value is of yourself as it relates to what you bring to the table in a relationship. That's my take.
well, that's a good take. I agree, about 50% of what you said. Because, we're trying to help people out in a way, right? To help their mental and their thought process. Yeah, it's the person that's pursuing you is going to determine your worth and X, Y, and Z, right? But if you don't have a lot of people pursuing you, because your said value, your price is too high. If you want to be, rotting on the shelf, you have to bring them prices down. Just as the same if you can dig in and say, hey man, I put my house on the market for 600,000. Damn it, I'm gonna sell for 600,000. Now everybody getting their house sold in 30 days. Your house been on there for damn near 2 years. Ain't nobody buying. You need to adjust based on what the market is saying. You need to take those signals. If you don't take those signals, then you're just gonna be on the shelf waiting. It may happen, it may not. And that's from a male standpoint and from a female standpoint. Both parties have to understand what their true value is, So that's my opinion on it.
Well, how do you determine what your true value is if you're not the one that sets the value?
Well, the
Are you?
market.
Yeah, the
You
market.
you can't determine. You can say it's all baseline, right? Everybody has to start with a baseline and say, "Well, I think I'm this. I think I'm that." Right? It's just at the end of the day, when people put scales and say, "Okay, attractiveness scale," right? Man, am I a 10? Am I a 5? Am I a 6 or whatever? Right? And everybody start with a baseline. Okay, I'm average, I'm above average or whatever. Whatever your thought process, it is what it is. Now the market, as if you're out, pursuing other people, whatever the case may be. Now, people that's pursuing is gonna tell you those signals gonna tell you where your value is at. And so
Potentially.
yeah, potentially if you don't, it can be people out there that overvalue. And you feel like, man, I had people that overvalue me. And now you come out of that relationship, now you think you're a 10, and now you go out here and people say you're a 5. And then now you're shocked because you've been a 10 your whole life and this man treated you like a 10. But the streets tell you, nah, you're a 5.
But
Nah,
that but that's what I'm saying. So let's take that particular example
mhm.
and discuss that. Though that's mostly like physical attraction, sex appeal. So we're talking about the the attractive scale, So one man's, I don't know, 6 might be another man's 8. You know what I mean? Or one man's 8, it might be another man's 4. That's
Oh
why it's,
yeah.
it's it's so subjective. So it's one of those things that it makes no sense to really get too tied into it based on what one person might perceive your value is. So then that's why I come back to the question. I mean, you can't really, if we're saying you can't self-determine your value and the market determines your value or someone else determines your value, how do you proceed with that? But I
Well,
get what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I get what you're saying where you say that there's a baseline But that baseline, isn't that self-imposed? Like that baseline.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's you always got to start with something. It's any math equation, whatever. You start with something. Now, based on how many data points you get, now you start to add the pieces to it and build up or come down. Like I said, I use the real estate market or whatever, right? Now, the market can say, hey, the real estate agent come and say, hey, man, I think your house should be you put on the market 450, it's gonna sell in 30 days. Now the owner be like, nah, my shit is 600, bro. I did the floors, I did new bathroom, this shit lit, bro. I got a pool. Bro, my shit selling no less than 600. Fuck that. Put it 600. Right? So now they put it for 600. The market is saying, hey, 400, 450. It does not sell. Now you have to go back to the drawing board and self-reflect and say, "Oh shit, do I want to keep this shit on the market for 600,000 or bring it back down to what the market is saying at 450?" You see what I'm saying? Because you get more data points now. Because now, as your time you sitting on the shelf is not going. It's not. No one's coming. They're coming to see it. They're walking through it, just like a relationship, right? Or you're out here dating. People are coming to see you. They're going on dates. They probably you probably have sex with a few people. They leave, but no one is keeping you. So now you got to ask yourself, like, damn, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I not doing the right things or am I overvaluing things? Do I want too much? Why aren't these guys sticking around? So now you got to self-reflect and be like, okay, now what energy am I putting out there? Like, am I putting, the 600,000, I'm putting 400,000, whatever the case may be, you have to self-reflect and then make those adjustments to make sure the market responds the right way or the way that you want them to respond to you. And that's all I'm getting to, because everyone can determine their value. Everyone can say, I'm worth this. But when you actually go out into the market or the real world and say, okay, this is where I'm at. If nobody's buying, you need to come back and take some things out or adjust a few things, either physically or mentally in your thought process of what you think men should do or where you think things should go or whatever the case may be. You need to make those adjustments because if you don't, you're gonna be rotting on the shelf, man. Like like Shay say, man, there's some prices I don't even want. So
You stupid.
hey man, hit us up in the comments, man. Hustle Gang. Appreciate you guys in the comments. Let us know what you think. Who determines the prize, man? Break it down. I use the real estate analogy. I know you guys gonna have a few other analogies. I'm curious, or we're curious of what you think. Hit us up.
Thank you for watching High Value Hustle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content.